Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
It's really true, is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, over 33 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 33 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. Yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this. You know, we've all had the roughest few years of our lives, right? All over the world, not just here. And unfortunately, too many people didn't make it. And a lot are still struggling with addiction, and a lot of family members who lost their family members to addiction and so forth and so on. I am here to help you. I want everyone out there to know someone is listening. I'm a recovery coach. I'm also a nutritional health coach. All my services to you are free. Please, please reach out. If you think my book can help someone, because I do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. Guys, if you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please reach out to me about that as well. I'm here to help you. I want to just give a shout out to a few of my sponsors before I introduce my incredible guests. Okay, first and foremost, Michael D'Amore, singer, songwriter, performer, entertainer, www.michaeldamore.com. Guys, he's on Spotify, he's everywhere. Please check him out. Go to his website and you can purchase his songs. He is off the charts incredible. Okay, Michael D'Amore, everybody. Then I've got Michael Zanman, singer, entertainer, performer, www.mzanman.com. He is a really cool cat, okay? That's what I always call him, all right? He's a great performer. I had the honor of emceeing for the two of them. Zanman opened up for D'Amore at Let East this past year, and I'll be doing it the same this coming year, okay? Then we've got John Monforto, the man of many faces. I actually named him that. Singer, actor, celebrity impersonator, and tribute artist. He was given the title from a former Philadelphia mayor as the official Philadelphia Rocky impersonator. The guy is off the charts. He does about 30 different characters. My favorites, of course, being the Italian is, you know, Rocky and the Godfather, and of course Elvis, okay? www.johnmonforto.com. And guys, last but not least, Johnny Bishop, singer, songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. Okay, his Facebook page is Entertainment Luncheon South. He's the partner in the Joey D and Johnny B Rockin' Oldies band. Guys, let me tell you something about this guy, Johnny B, and his wife, Linny, okay? They're incredible. What they do for the entertainers is off the charts. They do not make any money. They put this luncheon on once a month, okay? They put my stuff out there more than I do at times, okay? They put everybody's stuff out there. You know, they're amazing, and I just want to say thank you, we love you, and we appreciate you. So now, guys, it's time, all right? You know I bring it, right? I'm bringing it again. So I want to introduce my two incredible guests. Okay, we've got Stormin' Norman Seldin and Pam McCoy. Say hello.
Hello.
Hey, Geri.
How are you guys?
I'm good.
Good. Excited to be here.
I'm excited too. So listen, we have like 6 songs we're going to play. We're going to talk about what's going on with you guys, your careers, all that. But take the mic. We'll let ladies start. Pam, you take the mic first. Start telling everyone a little bit about yourself.
I'm a singer-songwriter, originally from Red Bank. I started playing out publicly when I was 16, underage with a fake ID.
Ah.
And I took some years off when I got married and had a family, and then I went back to music in '91. And I had actually started playing an open mic in Red Bank when Norman walked in one night, and he had just lost his female singer, and he heard me and invited me to come down to where he was playing over the weekend to sound check with him and during his setup. And he said, I want you to do those 3 songs during my sound check, and if they sound good, why don't you come and do them? And that was it. So I started singing with Norman, still singing with Norman fairly frequently, but I've been doing my own music for a long time and I was in multiple bands, have had my own bands. The current one is about 15 years of Pam McCoy, Familiar Faces.
So,
And
wait, I love that. Familiar Faces?
yeah,
So why is it titled that? I love that title.
because I figured that I could interchange members of the band. When they couldn't make a gig, I could get somebody else in there, and everybody was kind of familiar to everyone because we play in and out of each other's groups. We, collaborate on different projects. So it didn't really matter. I mean, of course, I love my key players, but there's so many great musicians that I could use when I had to, and add to my band when I could. So Familiar Faces just kind of fit because everybody sees us out. I play out a lot, so everybody's familiar.
So
And everybody that comes to see us is familiar.
I have
which
to
is awesome.
comment on that because I just love the name of that, and that's
Well,
a
you're-
woman's brain because you had it all figured out in case blah
Yeah.
blah blah. I love that. All right, so continue.
It took me a long time. And my dear friend, who was a fabulous musician, and he was actually a guitar player in our band with Norm, Link Davis, he made the logo for my business cards, which I still use, which was so dead creative.
I love it.
And it was a guitar with Familiar Faces incorporated into the strings. So brilliant.
So cool.
So I used that. He did that for me as a gift years ago.
Very cool.
So, yeah. So there's a lot of good energy around the whole name and group.
I love that. So, all right, we'll come back to you. So now, Norm,
Sure.
tell everyone a little bit about you, and I want you to tell everyone why you're Stormin' Norman. Go ahead.
Well, the original name came from the racetrack jockeys because they always said I was storming around. Then I bought a racehorse. When you buy a racehorse, you have to patent the name. And they gave me the name, which became worldwide, because if a horse does do well and races in Europe, they lift the lip to check the tattoo of the number of the horse to make sure it's yours. So I got to name him, and the jockey said, let's name him Stormin' Norman. So since 1968, I've had it nationally registered as Stormin' Norman.
That is so cool. Okay. So now tell
I didn't even know.
tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Where do I start? I started formal piano lessons at 3. Practiced 6 to 8 hours a day. Unfortunately, in an abused household, not good. I think that was my only refuge was that. And I was piano competitions almost weekly for the first 7 or 8 years. And everybody used to walk out that was coming after me after a while. And I didn't understand because I was 7, 8 years old. And the teacher said, they don't want to play after you. And I took that for about 3 years. When I think I was 12, I finally, I did what you're supposed to do. You play one note and you close the piano lid. And my parents just looked at me, what are you doing? I said, I'm done. I'm not playing again. Not in competition. So I think I was 33-0 in competitions. So I figured, I used a little history. I said, well, Rocky Marciano retired undefeated. I'll retire undefeated. So I stopped competing when I was 12. I went into Manhattan School of Music, got out of high school, out of that, and started running shows when I was 14, teenage shows, with my mother's signature because I was too young. And I was drawing 500 to 1,000 kids a week, 2-3 nights a week. And then branched into, managing the groups, of course, all rhythm and blues groups, Ray Goodman and Brown, Harry Ray, and was in the Valtairs, and then there was Clarence, and dozens of others, but whoever I could give a boost to. I did everybody else except myself. I waited till later. to really do that. I stayed in the background and then finally pulled myself out. When I started working with Larry Chance, managing him at 17, he was going to quit the business. And I said, don't quit. I said, give me 2.5 weeks. It took me 2.5 weeks to get him 40 jobs. He couldn't find 2 in the last 2 months. So he was going to leave and go. And I said, if you want another job early in the morning, so I'm up all night. I said, call up Imus. He wants it, or early morning person to imitate a Mexican. And he used to do great Mexican
Oh,
imitation.
yes. Oh, yes.
And he called me at 5 o'clock in the morning, in my wilder days. I said, what the hell do you want? He said, good morning, Senor Sorman. How are you today? I said, Larry, I said, get off I was very busy at the time, 4:35 in the morning. That was my crazy years. And he thought it was really funny. So whenever he did a show with me, he would always open up with that, Mr. Norman, Mr. Norman, you know. I said, okay, that's enough. But I taught Larry how to promote himself and keep himself going. And he taught me how to sing.
So hold that. Of course, I had the honor of becoming very close friends with him. I was even invited to his last luncheon before he moved, but I couldn't get there. God rest your soul, Larry. We love you. We all love you. So rest in peace. Rest in eternal peace, Larry Chance. Okay,
And he was
continue.
crazy about Pam. He met her once and he said, wow, she's really
Well,
something.
we met a few times.
Well, he either liked you or he didn't. That was Larry.
Yeah.
If he didn't like you, he didn't say he didn't, but he just didn't mention your name anymore. You know,
He was amazing.
Amazing. When I got to hug him, forget it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
go
He had
ahead.
big hugs.
Yeah. So continue.
Me?
Yep, a little bit more.
I branched out. I started recording groups when I was 14, 15
Okay.
and had my own record label with my mother's signature, of course.
Okay.
And started my own record label and sold 5,000 copies on one of my first releases with the Valtairs. All the way down, I had the entire R&B network from New Jersey to Miami. Pick 10 songs all the way down from her little record label that a 15-year-old kid had.
Hold that thought. Have to ask. So you were 15 at the time. How much did you get per song?
Actually, we got 5 cents a song then,
That's so cool.
but now it's fractions of pennies.
Yeah.
But I owned the label, so I got the label money from the record, and I got the publishing money, and some of them I wrote, so I got all of it.
Very cool. All right, very cool. So now I want to ask each of you a question. So I'll start with you, Pam. So
Okay.
growing up, who in the music industry influenced you the most?
Oh boy. Well, when I started, I was pretty young. I always sang. I sang in school productions, even if I didn't want to. I was the only one that could sing certain parts of things. So I always sang, and I listened to music constantly in my room. And I'm old, so the music that I listened to back then was Petula Clark, Fifth Dimension, Marilyn McCoy, Joni Mitchell, Carly Simon, Carole King. I just would stand, literally, I was the girl standing in front of my mirror with a hairbrush, pretending and dreaming that I could be that someday. So, and then I started playing guitar at 12, and I'd sit in front of my record player and figure out the chords to the songs that I loved. So I had all my album covers in front of me, and I would write the little chord diagrams over the words on like Carly Simon's Anticipation album, Tapestry, Carole King. Like I taught myself guitar so that I could always accompany myself and be able to sing.
So
And that's how it started.
two things. You called me old because I'm probably older than you. I'm not sure, but you called
Oh,
me
no,
old.
I didn't call you old. No, I didn't call you old. I said I'm old.
No, listen. But you taught yourself? You were
I
self-taught?
did. I'm self-taught.
So I
Not vocally, but guitar. I taught myself.
all right, so you taught yourself
I
guitar,
had a vocal coach.
but you had a vocal coach.
I did. I was
I
in
would
music.
think it would be easier to teach
85.
yourself how to sing than play guitar,
Absolutely.
right? So how
But
did you do?
hours. I spent hours and hours and hours. I was absolutely obsessed with
That's
learning
amazing.
and playing because I wanted to be able to sing wherever I could bring a guitar. I wanted to just be able to be, able to do that and provide my own music.
I'm totally
So-
impressed. When I hear people say that, because I am not musically inclined, I'm totally impressed with you. So thank you for that. That's beautiful. Okay. Norm, going to ask you the same question. Okay, growing up, who really influenced you in the music industry?
Piano-wise, you mean?
In the music industry, it doesn't matter. Favorite singers, piano-wise, whatever.
I had a very strange upbringing. When I was talking to my father and my real mother, she was a Juilliard voice student whose father wouldn't pay her tuition because he believed, he was from down south, he believed women should just have babies and stay home and cook. So he wouldn't pay her tuition. My father was a first bassist in the National Symphony and the Philharmonic at 18, and he was all over the world playing. So it was musical in the whole family.
Okay.
And when I wrecked a bunch of records when I was early, his opera records I had on my head spinning in the kitchen, and this floors used to be hard tile. So when a 78 would fall on the floor and I was 3 years old, I would laugh and dance around it. And when they came home and found the records broken, they said it's time to corral him. He's a little nuts. So they got me a brand new piano, and that's where I stayed. That's where I had to. But my teachers didn't speak any English. That was a kind of a tough thing.
Okay.
And when you did something, when they did something wrong, they hit you with a knitting needle in your hand. So you just showed your hands how many welts you had, But that's how I started with it. I always listened to, of course, Horowitz when you're little, because now he's ancient. But he was the main classical source then, and him and Dino Lipatti, which is just incredible players. And I listened to some very strange female vocalists like Ema Sumac, who had a 5-octave range. And she had these wild arrangements, and she was Indian. So she had chants, and the stuff was so modern for what she was doing then. I was listening to that in 1953, and she was selling the Rose Bowl out as an individual artist. That's how big she was then.
Oh, wow.
So I had some strange upbringings. And then, of course, when I got out of the Manhattan School of Music thing and finished with that, I turned myself right to Fats Domino and Jerry Lee Lewis.
Heck yeah, baby.
One trip to New Orleans and catching him and hearing Clarence Frogman Henry, hearing Frankie Ford, Sea Cruise, which all ended up working for me on my shows later on. I didn't know this would happen when I was 14, 15.
That's really
But
cool.
I've had a very, very mixed thing. And on jazz piano, I listened to Oscar Peterson and Andre Previn. When I went to Canada on tour, I was with Red Fox and Ike and Tina Turner. They were still together. That's how young I was. And they called up, "Can you come to Montreal tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. It's an hour and 40 minutes from Messina, New York." I went up there and I got to hear Oscar Peterson and Andre Previn do a piano duet. I decided that day I was never playing jazz again because they were that good.
That's so funny.
I was fast. I'm lightning fast. They made me look like a slow storm.
Oh,
I
yes.
said, I'm going to stick with my rhythm and blues and what I've got. And those are people I admired. Vocally, when I was young, Mario Lanza was the deal to me.
Oh, come on, right? I remember.
And to me, he's still the warmest tenor I've ever heard.
Okay.
Some say there's dozens that are better. They're all over the place. But here's what I grew up with. And I grew up with Liberace on a black and white TV because my mother made me watch him. And a phenomenal pianist. Forget he didn't enter into the Hollywood glamour until years later. That, and I unfortunately got stuck with the Arthur Godfrey show and the guy with the accordion. What was his name? Oh, my Lord. Anyway, these musical shows, polkas and all that, I wanted to die sometimes, but I sit there because my mother was taking care of me at the time. And when I got to be 14 or 15, I broke away from all that. I didn't listen to it anymore.
Okay.
But it was Oreos and cookies and watching music on TV.
Okay. So hold that thought. So now I'm going to ask both of you this question. So Pam, you didn't get to tell me about anyone that you may have met that you always wanted to meet in the industry. Was there anyone special that you were like finally able to meet?
I've met Carly Simon. I
Okay.
met her in Martha's Vineyard at her store, Midnight Farm, purely by chance. I was up there actually with Pat Guadano and a bunch of musicians for an annual trip, and she had this fabulous store that we used to go shopping in. And she walked in, and I did the whole fan thing. I burst into tears. I told her she was my idol when I was younger, that I'd learned everything that she had put out in the first few years. And she was so gracious and kind. She invited me for iced tea to her house the next day, and we were leaving. So I couldn't go, but I was
okay.
so enthralled with her. I literally thought I had died and gone to heaven. She's fabulous. So that was a big one. as far as female artists, I've met a lot of male artists over the years who I also admire the hell out of. But
Okay.
that was a cool moment to
That- I'm
actually
sure
see
that
and
was.
speak to her, and she's amazing.
I'm
She's
sure
so
that
gracious,
was.
and lovely. So
So now I'm
Yeah.
going to ask both of you, was there anyone that you always wish you could have met but you never gotten the opportunity? Pam, you first.
oh boy, you asked me that and to be ready, and I still haven't come up with anybody. I mean, I would love to meet Joni Mitchell. I dream about meeting her. I don't think that will ever happen, but she's been one of my idols forever.
Well, there you go.
So I think I would be pretty blown away if I could be
Okay.
in a room with her for a few minutes.
So, Norm, was there anyone that you wish you could have met but never got the opportunity?
I met a lot of people that I always thought I would never meet. You know, there's, sure, I would have loved to have met Dino Lopati before he passed away at leukemia at 32. Columbia Records said he would be the next Horowitz. And he, at his last concert in a cast on a stage, and just had enough to finish his performance. So we lost him at 32. So I was only 6 years old then, 7 years old. But his playing was like a dream. I would have loved to have met him.
Okay. Okay.
Just loved.
So, I've met so many, thank you God, because you don't know what that means to me, being able to meet all these incredible legends. But I never got to meet Elvis, and that's my guy. And
That's your
who
man.
I wish, you know? I wish. But listen, I got to meet his son. So you know what? I got to meet, talk to Priscilla. I got to meet and interview Elvis's nurse, Marion. I got interviewed by George Klein at Graceland. I got to interview Priscilla's son, Navarone. So you know what? My bucket is overflowing. Okay, so,
Wow.
you know, and I thank God for all that. I really do. I don't take any of that or this being with you guys as well for granted, because it's my honor. And I mean that. You know, I always say, and I'm going to tell you my age, lady. I always say I was born too late. And I have no problem talking about it. I was born in 61, and the funny thing about 61 is all the songs that I love became hits in 61, 62, 63, right? Some of them 60. I wasn't even born yet. So I always say I was born too late because I'm an oldies doo-wop Elvis girl, you know? But you also can't take the rock and roll out of me either. I mean, Led Zeppelin, Foreigner, right? All of it. You know, I've been to all the concerts. But I love oldies, and I also love your music. I want to ask Pam something, and then I want to ask you, Norman, then we're going to play our first two songs, actually. All right, so let me start with this. So Pam,
Yep.
I'm going to ask, it's a silly question, but I like asking this, okay? When you hear your songs, when you hear you singing, okay, you'll turn one on. It's already recorded. It's done perfectly. You hear it. What goes through your mind? What do you think of your song the way you're singing it?
Oh, I'm always criticizing. I'm always thinking I could have done something differently. I could have gone to a different harmony line or done a different lead line or put the sax in a different place. I'm always recreating. It takes me a long time to finalize a song before I release it. And then I release it and I'm like, oh my God, I should have done this first.
Okay.
I'm very critical.
So now when you hear...
I mean, I like what I release, I'm happy with them for the most part, but
Okay.
I always think I can do more.
Okay. So
So
now,
I write more.
when you hear Carly Simon, you hear one of her songs, whatever, what do you think?
Perfection.
Okay, see, that, I'm asking this for a reason, I'll get back to that. I will get back to that. So Norm, when you hear your music, what you've recorded, you're listening to it, what do you think?
I kind of hear a lot of things that Pam's talking about. I think I could have done this. I don't think there was anything wrong. I think it's
Yeah.
musically correct. There's always something you find.
Okay?
Whether it's a master, whether you did 2 takes or 20, there's always something you could have taken away or added, made it simpler, made it a little more interesting in this part. But overall, I wouldn't put it out unless it was mixed the right way.
Okay, I love
So-
that. I love that. You just said that. Good. So now let me ask you guys this. Well, I asked her, now I'll ask you. So, Mario Lanza, you're listening to one of your idols, whatever it is, right? Do you look to criticize it? Do you listen to see what's wrong?
You can't criticize perfection.
There you go. All right, so now I'm going to say what I have to say to both of you, okay? So it seems to me like every artist pretty much says what you guys have said. And I'm here to tell you, we don't hear any of that. We hear, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Maybe singers, but not your fans, not the regular person. When I listen to the songs you sent me, I'm like, these are really freaking cool, okay? I don't think like, oh, no way, no. The only time I would ever think that about anyone is if it's really bad. You know what I mean? But your fans do not hear that. So we're going to start with this. So producer, we're going to start with 5'2". Let's play that one first, and then we'll talk about it.
5'2", eyes are blue. Oh, what those 5 foot could do. Has anybody seen my girl? Well, turned up nose, turned down hose. Oh, you know where it goes. Has anybody seen my girl? Now, if you run into a 5'2", oh, covered with fur, oh, well, diamond rings and all those things. I bet your life that it is in her butt. Coochie love, coochie coo, oh, coochie, coochie, coochie coo. Has anybody seen my girl? That it is in her well. Could she love? Could she coo? Could she? cool. Has anybody seen anybody seen anybody seen my girl?
All right, come on, baby. Talk about it, Norman.
I wanted the filler for the album. Okay, I had a lot of extra tracks, and I decided on the spot. I said, you know what? I haven't sang any scat in 25 years. I said, what's the oldest song I might have played when I was 11 or 12 when I was still reading fake books? I said, you know what? We'll do 5'2". And the amazing thing about it is that I think I took one take on it.
Yeah.
One take, and it was a spotless.
For real?
I hadn't done it. Yeah, one take. I just said, I don't think we can do it. In fact, you were there, I think.
I was there.
And they just like, what? Everything was spot on. So we just added the extra stuff after the basic tracks, and that's what we came up with. Nobody expected that at all.
So he didn't pay you to say this, right, Pam?
No.
No, this is, listen, I'm
No,
giving you,
it was pretty mind blowing. The
Yeah,
scat,
amazing.
we were all, our mouths were like on the floor. It was pretty
amazing. Do you have the album near you?
I can have one near me quickly. What?
Okay, no, because, we'll show your album. We'll talk about that as well.
Let me disappear for 1 second.
Okay, so now, Pam, we're
Yeah.
going to play your song, 4th of
Okay.
July, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, producer.
I'm no good anticipating, even less if I'm waiting for anyone. Takes their time.
Pam, that's beautiful. Talk about that song.
Well, I'm a July 5th baby, but I always used to think that the fireworks were for me. So that was kind of the
They were.
beginning of it. But it was also, I was seeing a guy at the time who said, I would love to hear you write a country song. And it kind of started as a country song, and it ended up very differently once I went into the studio to record it. But it was just about, trying to get somebody to get on board, like see the relationship from where I was sitting, and that if they would just take a second, they would realize that it could be hotter than the 4th of July. So it all fit. And then I got my favorite sax player. Well, I have a lot of them, but my favorite sax player for this kind of material is Tommy LaBella. And I should mention too that my producer and guitar player Kyle Ward is where I did all my recording. He's my guy, and I've known him since he was 15. And he's been playing with me almost that long. And then I gave him the first 6 songs that I have put out. He's done them. So we got to record at his studio at his house. And Tommy LaBella came in and he did 6 or 7 different tracks. He kept hearing, which is what I love. This is the creative process that lights me up. He kept hearing different things that he wanted to keep adding. He asked me, can I do another track? Can I do another track? And I'm like, Tommy, this is your song. Like, I give every musician that plays on my stuff, even in live gigs, creative freedom. If you want to write your own bass line, if you want to write all the horn tracks, do it. Like, just go for it. So we ended up using all of his tracks. I think we cut 1. So there's 6 different layers of his sax tracks in there. So now it sounds like I have the Miami 7 horns in there. I mean, he blew it out of the park, and I couldn't cut any of it. It was so good. And it just gave it this Jersey Shore energy. It took it right out of country realm for me and made it a big rocking Jersey Shore summer song. And that's what I ended up, that was my vision for it by the time we really got into the nitty gritty of recording it. And then the mastering and everything was all done in-house. So I'm really proud of that one. I love that one. That's probably one of my favorites.
I love it too, but I have a question for you. How many songs have you written?
So many.
Okay.
I have song sketches written on pieces of paper in folders, notebooks, everything. I've been writing really since I was a teenager. A lot of poetry that ended up being morphed together into songs. And then cut up and made into a different song. Like, over the years, my stuff has really transformed a lot. So what I have now is 6 out. I have another 6 that need to get done. 5 of them are sitting at Michael Geegan's studio, which I am very remiss that I haven't been over there. Every time I see him, he's like, get over and get your stuff done with me. I want to get these done. And I've made a pact with myself that I'm going to do them before the summer.
That's amazing.
But there's some really good material at his studio that I really need to do.
2 singers, husband and wife, Pam and Steve, took one of my poems and made a song out of it without me even knowing, and it came out beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I interviewed Trade Martin years ago, and he said, Jerry, we have to do a song together. He insisted. So we did a Christmas song together. He insists we did it together even. He did more than I did, trust me. Okay? I gave him some lyrics, but he took it away. So now, Norman, let's talk about your beautiful, amazing, incredible album. And thank you for gifting one to me and your CD. So show everyone and let's talk about it.
Well, it's the first Violet Purple album since a long time. Actually, Prince was less on anything in close to this color. But actually, Pam liked this color a lot.
It's my favorite color.
And I vetoed it immediately.
My favorite color. Hold it up. Hide your face. Let's see the whole thing. Just hold it up. Yep. That's amazing.
Oh, okay.
Amazing, amazing. All right, cool. Very cool. Yep.
And there's the cover.
Yep. Timeless Memories. Amazing.
And the only thing that describes every individual song's artist is on the CD. Because on the album, we just put everybody collectively who was on it. But
Right.
on the CD, you would see this.
Yes. Hold it up a little higher. There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Beautiful. How long did it take, this project of yours?
2 years.
Okay. And you were patient.
Yeah, well, there were circumstances. My wife was very ill at the time, so it was in between when I could do that. In between the full-time job and being with her every morning, every night. Everything had to be, to get everybody in the studio, and background singers and different players. But I did maintain I think, a great rhythm section, and my sax section is phenomenal. So you got the best of the best carrying through the whole thing. So it had form to it.
Beautiful.
Nobody overplayed, nobody underplayed, and it was all written out. So it was good.
Beautiful.
It really was.
God rest her beautiful soul, Norm. God rest her beautiful soul. And I know, Pam, you were very close to her as well, so,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's smiling down at both of you. She's smiling down.
Thank God they're not shopping together.
Well, listen, she's probably giving her hints of what
We
to
were
buy, now,
definitely
you know what I
together.
mean?
Oh my God.
So it's beautiful. All right, so now let's play our third song. So we'll play, because we just played 4th of July, right?
Yep.
And so now we're going to play Flip, Flop, and Fly, and then we're going to talk about it. Here we go.
Cool.
When I get the blues, I get me rocking chair. When I get the blues, I get me a rocking chair. When I get in trouble, I'll run out of here. I said when I get lonely, I'll pick up the telephone. When I get lonely, I'll pick up the telephone. Well, I call my baby, tell her I'm on my way back home. Ooh, I said Goodbye. Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
All right, baby. Tell us about that song.
Most people don't know when there was a band, Bobby Comstock, he used to back most of Rich Nader's shows and all the things at the Garden. So I was with Banner Talent, which did all those shows. They also handled James Brown and most of the R&B acts all the time. And he called me one. He said, "We got a problem. Band can't make it for the Garden show. Can you back the show?" That'd be like on a Tuesday for a Friday show or Saturday. I said, "Sure, we'll back the show." He said, "If they run short on time, have a song ready." I said, I didn't think about it because there were so many groups on the show from A to Z, and got to the show, did the rehearsals. I got my first taste of the Madison Square Garden Union, tried to plug in my own Hammond organ, and they grabbed that out of my hand. They said, "You can't plug that in. It has to be union done." I said, "It's 3 feet away. I'm sorry. We have to plug it in for you." I said, "Geez, everything done." And sure enough, the thing ran a little short. A couple of the groups were supposed to do 3 or 4 songs, did 2 or 3, and they had to fill like 7 or 8 minutes and to complete whatever the union deal was at the time. So the guys just looked at me and they said, "Should we do an a cappella show?" So I said, "You know what? We'll do Flip, Flop, and Fly." And they said, "We haven't done that in 9 years." I said, "Hey, as good as anything." I said, "It'll keep the place rocking." So we went out, had the whole audience start clapping for about 20, 30 seconds before we actually started the song. And they started the audience going. We started that song and blew the place apart. And a couple of the other horn players came from the other bands and sat in that night for that song. And I've really pretty much been using it, ever since. Everywhere I go, people just love that song. And I'm actually a ballad singer. Somehow I got the title of a blues shouter. So I didn't care as long as it went over, It's just one of those songs that's happy. It stays alive, whether it's 4 minutes or 8 minutes, everybody's into it. And once they start clapping their hands, you own them. All you should do is keep the rhythm. Give them a few solos.
Amazing. Did you ever write any songs?
I have about 75.
Okay, very cool.
About 48 or 50 that are published. In fact, they'll be going up on a YouTube channel in the next 3 weeks. A bunch of things I recorded starting way back in 64, all the way up to 2010, and even now to the new album. So there'll be about 50 or 60 on there.
Cool.
That they'll be able to listen to.
So what we're going to do, we'll play now one more song, and then, Pam, you'll talk about it.
Okay.
Different drum, I'm assuming, right? That's yours, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope so.
Yep, we'll talk about it, and then we're going to have you guys promote, whatever you want to tell them, so we don't forget to do that, and then we'll continue. Okay, here we go.
Try and pull
not that I knock it, it's just that I'm not in the market for a boy who wants to love only me. And I ain't saying you ain't pretty. All I'm saying is I'm not ready for any person, place, or thing to try and pull the reins. Ain't on me. So goodbye. Will I be leaving? I see no sense in this crying and grieving. We'll both live a lot longer if you live without me. Oh, if you live without me. Yeah, if you live without me. Oh, if you live without me.
Can't beat it.
No.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
You.
Talk about what that song means to you.
Well, it's always been a favorite. I love Linda Ronstadt, and it's always been one of my favorite songs that Norm and I have been performing together since we started playing together. And we started going through my notebooks of music. What do you know? What do you know? And I, told him a bunch of artists that I liked, and he's like, we can do that, we can do that. And this was one of the first ones to go into the rotation at our gigs, and it's never left. And I was kind of psyched that he was putting this on the album. I'm like, really? We can do that? We can use the rights to this song. I mean, it's huge.
I bought the rights.
He bought the rights to the
Oh,
song.
wow. Wait, talk about that. You really did?
Yeah.
How did
You
that?
have to buy a license to be able to record somebody's music, to be
Yeah.
on radio, to be on the download sites. So every one of those songs on the album had to be paid for.
Okay, so you're talking to someone who doesn't know anything about this stuff, really. So when you say you bought the rights to record it.
Recorded.
Oh, got
Record
it,
and
okay.
also to put it on download
Yes.
sites and
Yes,
to be
yes,
played on
yes.
radio stations.
All right,
Yeah.
now I get it. Okay, I was a little
It's
confused.
just a licensing thing.
Yeah,
But
yes,
the
yes.
thing is that my dad, going way back, when I was a child, and I'm playing music for them all the time, and it was always bring your guitar here, bring your guitar here. We're going to go to the beach for a picnic, or we're going to somebody's house. Loved and supported everything I did. And then I was away at boarding school for high school, and I wrote a song for the promotional teas that they would have in alumni's homes to recruit new families to send their daughters to the school. It was up in Dobbs Ferry, New York. So I was asked to go into RCA Records and record it for the promotional video, along with some other music. And there were 3 or 4 of us that went in. I was a junior in high school, so I was like 16.
Okay.
So we took the train into the city, and it was only like 25 minutes. And we had our meeting with the A&R people, and they heard what we did. We recorded them live in the studio, and I had a guy ask me to come into his office, and he said, we really like your voice. We really like your sound. What would you think about a developmental contract here with RCA Records? And I was like, I didn't know what that was. And he said, it gives us permission to have you record things that we have here and develop your talent, maybe writing, definitely singing, obviously, and recording. But you have to take this, you're underage, you have to take this contract to your parents, get a lawyer to look at it, do the whole thing. So my dad was a lawyer to look at it, do the whole thing. So my dad was a Wall Street guy. And he knew that's weird. It was crazy.
Yeah, hold on.
Anyway, so I was all excited. And I'm going, so I was all excited. And I'm going,
Hold that, Pam. Hold that.
yeah,
All right. My producer went to the restroom. He'll be back any second. But listen to me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes?
Yep.
All right. So let me talk for right now, and
Yeah.
then he'll fix this. He's coming right now, okay? Producer, we're having a problem with their sound. Talk. Say something so he hears it.
You can hear me right now, whatever's going on.
All right,
You can
he's-
hear me right now,
okay.
whatever's going on.
He's going to take care of that. They could hear me, so I'm just going to talk to them a minute. So, first of all, I want to give a shout out, of course, to Kojak for giving me your incredible MP3s. Kenny Kojak, we love you. Who loves you, baby? Who loves you? Okay, now talk.
So I took this contract into my dad's office to go home for the weekend, and I told him all about it. And he said, well, we'll talk about it at home. And he took one look at it at home, and he said, absolutely not. Music is the most compromising industry for a girl, a woman, to enter. I will absolutely not support you in any endeavor to do this. You're going to go to business school. You're going to, I used to joke I was his first son. He wanted me to have a desk next to him on Wall Street. And I was the farthest thing from my mind. I had no ability for it whatsoever. I was all creative. So that was the end of that. But when I went back to music and I started doing this song with Norman, he was my biggest cheerleader that I went back to music.
Wait, your dad?
Yes, my dad.
Okay, continue. I love this story. Continue.
The biggest cheerleader. My parents were so supportive. Not in the beginning. I got divorced going through this whole process because it was something that I had always done. And I put it on a back shelf. It was like, you're married, you're not doing that anymore. That was kind of that was the thought process. Norman lived through my whole divorce with me. It was a nightmare. It was very sad. But in order for me to continue doing something that was my soul, my passion, I lost my marriage over it with 3 children. So my parents had a lot of trouble keeping up with me. I was going through a lot of stuff.
Yes.
But the bottom line was that my dad used to tell everybody that when we sang that song, Different Drum, he said, she sings it better than Linda Ronstadt sings it. He would say, that's my daughter. And, so when I got the chance to record this on this album, I know that he was up there. I know that he was with me and just cheering, like so excited. Both of them. But it was very impactful for me to record this song on this album because of everything that we'd been through together, and that he ended up being my biggest cheerleader, and especially with Linda Ronstadt material. So that's my story.
I have to share something with you. I have to. There's a reason why, guys. So my dad ended up passing away of Alzheimer's as well. And so my father owned a painting company. And once his partner passed away, they were young. He was in his 40s, but my brother got a little older. My brother became his partner. So when I was younger, I was like you, beating to a different drum. I wanted to go to art school in New York. My father was pulling his hair out of his head, sent me anyway. I lived at my nonna's. I had to draw naked people. She found my portfolio, screaming, pointing to the penises. My dad had to come there and calm her down. I mean, it was endless. My brother, perfect worker, blah, blah. My father bought me beauty salons back in the day because you have to do this because my sisters did this. Bought me a condo, for a house on his road, so we all stayed on, you get it, all right? But I want to share something with you, and I thank God for this moment. So my father, I used to drive him crazy. When I had the house on his road, his painters had to come for weekends at a time because I'm an artist. Outside my house, I made them paint the outside of my house hot pink, purple, and turquoise. I'm not kidding you, I had a birdhouse shed, I had a dolphin mailbox. Then when I redid it, it was hot yellow and white. I used to drive him crazy. So he used to say, I hate your colors, I hate them. Why can't everything just be white or off-white? My father gets Alzheimer's. Now I'm in a 55 and over. My brother sends his workers, and I have all different yellows, and it's so pretty, and blah, blah, blah. My father didn't know who I was, but he knew he could trust me. It was in the beginning. I bring him to my place. I feed him an amazing Italian meal, and he walks in, and this is what he says, Pam. He says, this place is beautiful. I love these colors. Are you an interior decorator? That meant he always loved my colors. That meant, because they can't, like with your dad, right? They just want to know we're going to be successful. They just wish the best.
Safe. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
safe. But deep down, your dad, just like my dad knew, he always loved my colors. Your dad knew he always loved you and wanted you to really sing. And Norman, I'm saying this for you as well, because your dad's up there smiling, your wife is up there smiling, my dad's up there smiling. They're very proud of all of us. And I just want to say that if anyone out there is struggling and going through anything, just know your worth and stick to what you love, and it will always pay off in the end, okay, guys? I just had to share that.
No, I love
nice.
that. That's very true.
I had to share that.
So true.
So now, before we play the next 2 songs, I want you guys to give shout-outs and talk about whatever you want. Promote. Come on.
You want me to go?
Go.
Well, on Sunday, April 28th, I will officially step back out on stage, and I will be at the R Bar in Asbury Park, which is you walk through the door, you're in New Orleans. The pictures are on the ceiling. You have to look up the ceiling to see most of the paintings. They have a New Orleans menu, great sound system, food's delicious, the kind of service you used to get 20 years ago. Young service. You spill a drink, there's a napkin, they're wiping it up before it gets wet. And the sound system's great, and you're on a raised platform, and everything's there. You just bring your piano. Brian and I will be there together from 1 to 4 on April 28th. And then we have something I have a group, I guess you've seen on the Storm and Norm Seldin's The Five. It's a cut down version because everybody can't afford a 12-piece band.
Okay.
So it's basically Ryan, myself, Chris Plunkett, I'm running out of names here, Chuck Lambert on guitar,
Okay.
and Robert Boyd on drums.
Okay.
And if Ryan can't make it one night and Pam's available, she'll be in there in place. So it's a switchable because everybody
Switchable.
knows the material. She's,
Yeah, it's like my familiar faces.
it-
I know that's where you were going.
Yes. Go ahead, Norman.
and we have a very big benefit coming up. I'll have details on it, but it's going to be for the Asbury Park Museum on Tuesday, June 6th. I'll have information on that. That's going to be with the Five. And then we have a lot of stuff coming up. And I had 2 inquiries about going to London, either solo or carrying a band with me. If I could find the people that I knew from when I did Mellotron and their associates, I would possibly take a trip over there for a week and let them beat the hell out of me for a week. I don't mind. But yeah, it's different. They love R&B overseas, in Holland and in London. You go to Sweden or Italy, any of those places, they love R&B. Whatever you're doing here that's from Motown to blues, you're a sold issue.
Yeah.
And if you play piano with the authentic blues things, that's what's happening. So, yeah, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm also, even though this just came out now officially because we couldn't put it out, Jamie was so ill, I'm already working on my plans for another one. So I'll keep myself busy.
Very
And
cool.
I'm just happy with everybody that worked in the session, and a shout out to somebody who won't play live with me anymore, but she did the whole session, was Vicki Warren on guitar.
Oh.
Incredible in the studio, and she has a song that we're not doing it today, but it's on the album.
Okay.
It's amazing. She
very cool.
just said, I'm too old to be on stage, but she does an
Oh,
amazing job
very
in the
cool.
studio.
Oh,
talented.
beautiful. Oh.
I mean, Chris Plunkett's a low-key guy. He walked over right in her face one day. He just looked at her and she said, "What?" He said, "Don't you ever play a wrong note?" She said, "I do." He said, "Where?" It's like kind of. She was just perfection,
Beautiful.
rhythm, some leads, never out front, and a dream to work with.
Beautiful.
So I miss her a little bit on stage, but Chuck's great, so we have a nice thing going. I may change it up next album and bring in 2 or 3 other people around the rhythm section, but that's what's going on, and I'm thrilled to go back to the R Bar.
Okay.
What place do you find that's immaculately clean, serving great food New Orleans style in a New Orleans setting? There's no cover charge. You get reservations and you get waited on, and you sit at any table, you can see the whole entertainment thing. It's great.
Beautiful. All right.
So I'm excited about that, and having the Five at the Asbury Park Museum benefit. And there's some other dates that are coming up. That's enough to digest right now. And anybody wants to, get in touch with me, we'll give her my website or something. That's all. No big deal. But
all right. So wait, give your website. I don't want to forget to do all this.
Well, it's www.stormandnormanseldin.com.
Beautiful.
If they want to call me,
Yep.
it's area code 732-245-4777. They can find out about availability, what size group. If they want a package show with all, everybody from the Earls across the board, we can do that too. Been doing that for over 50 years.
Beautiful. Thank you for that, Norm. So Pam.
Yeah, the biggest thing I've got right now, aside from just my regular weekend bar gigs, is a show coming up on April 26th at the Pollock Theater at Monmouth University. And I'm part of a very interesting collaboration with my artist friend, Nancy France Vaz, who's a contemporary realism portrait artist.
Oh.
And she was asked to put together a collection of her paintings, and in conjunction with that, the director there, Vaughn Peck, asked her to do a music portion of it. She had painted some of us musicians, and she and Nancy came up with this idea. It's called Metamorphosis Portraits in Song. And we are basically coming off the canvas, so to speak. There are 5 of us who are performing. So Nancy is having her big gala opening for her art reception from 6 to 8. And then 5 of us are going into the theater to perform in the Pollock Theater that night. So it's Laura Catalina Johnson, Christina Leese, who's an incredible harp player, a girl by the name of Jennifer Vitenzo that goes out as Genevieve, and Mary McCrank, and myself. So we've been working on that for months, and it's almost here already. I can't believe it.
My birthday.
Yeah, yep.
Very
April
cool.
26th.
Very cool.
So they can go to the Pollock, they can go to the Monmouth Edu website, edu.com, for the tickets for that. The art show part of it, the reception is free, but then you pay $35 a person to go in for the music portion of the evening.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be very exciting. And we're doing it Nashville style, so we're sitting on stage all together, performing originals for the first set, and then the second set is going to be covers and a mix, basically. But we're all playing together. It's going to be really fun. So we have somebody on the grand piano, somebody on the harp, and then there's 3 of us that play guitar. So I can't wait. It's going to be very exciting to be a part of the whole evening.
I'm sure.
And Nancy has 36 paintings in this show. She's phenomenal.
They are beautiful.
She's
they really
an
are.
absolutely brilliant artist. I'm so excited about mine. I was terrified to do it. She talked me into it, and now that I've seen it finished, I love it.
It's
very
beautiful.
cool.
So do you have a website and all that? Do you want to give your...
I do. PamMcCoySings.com has my whole schedule of all my gigs right through the end of the year. I play a lot of the tiki bars and the fun outside venues in the summer, as well as all the restaurants, local area restaurants from Keyport to Asbury, actually to Belmar, every weekend. So I work pretty
Beautiful.
full time. In the summer, it's like 5 days a week. Right now, it's 3.
Okay, beautiful.
You're on vacation.
So what?
You're
Yeah,
on
I'm on
vacation.
vacation right now.
Oh, this is good.
Quiet,
Right, so I got you at a
quiet.
great time. I got you at a
Quiet.
great time. Okay?
Yeah.
So, all right. So now, I usually read a poem out of my book during the shows, and I usually read this one when I do entertainers, and you'll understand why. So this poem I wrote is called Utilizing Gifts and Talents. There's a lot of people listening. I'm going to get so many messages, and it makes me sad. People will message me constantly and say, Geri, I wish I could sing like your guests. I wish I could dance like your guests. I wish I could write like you. I want everyone out there to understand that everyone has a gift to offer, okay? You know, we're no more special than you are. You know, God gives everyone something. So it's up to you to figure out what that gift is, because you have something, trust me. So really, really, truly listen to every word of this poem, okay? If anyone is struggling with their self-worth, this is going to help you. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make, like these guys, a living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. So don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. So go through life enlightened, and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. Go through life excited for what you sure can give to yourself and others is our reason to live. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay. Come on, Norman and Pam, baby, your names will live forever, forever and a day. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And guys, that's what you're both doing. You're making people smile.
It's beautiful.
You're making people smile. And you know, I love how you guys have been working together for so long, okay? And I love how what you guys do together is magical. It really is. It's absolutely beautiful and magical. Never stop, okay? You might have to slap this guy silly every once in a while, Pam, but that's okay. You
She
keep
does.
him in, yep, you keep him in line. But you know what? You guys are an amazing team. And, you know, today's special duo here on the Geri Petito Show are these two guys, okay? Girl and guy. And then, of course, Norman's incredible album, and you just heard everything. We have two more songs. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play, and you still have time, okay? I don't want you to forget to talk about anything you wanted to talk about. But right now, producer, let's play Tonight's the Night, and then we're going to talk about it, okay?
You said you're gonna meet me. Tonight's the night. You say you're gonna kiss me. Tonight's the night. Well, I don't know. Said I don't know right now. I might love you so. You said you're gonna make me turn the lights down low. You said you're gonna make me feel all aglow. Well, I don't know. Said I don't know right now. I might love you so. I might love you so much. You may break my heart. I may want you so much. All my dreams been torn apart. You say you're gonna love me tonight, tonight. You said you're gonna hold me tonight's the night. Oh, I don't know. Said I don't know right now. I might love you so. I might love you so much. You may break my heart. I might want you so much that all my dreams been torn apart. You say you're gonna love me tonight, tonight. You said you're gonna kiss me, yeah, tonight. Well, I don't know. Said I don't know right now. I might love you so. Let's take a chance. It's gonna be a sweet romance. Whoa. It's gonna be a sweet romance tonight. Tonight.
Okay, beautiful song. Come on, talk about it.
You know who she is.
Of course, come on.
Doreen Arminio does a lot of different songs. She's tabbed in the doo-wop oldies genre. She came to the studio without Joe, and she said, "What do you want me to do with this?" I said, "I just want a few little twists and turns. Don't sing it just straight like the original record, but take a couple twists and a couple whoa,
Okay.
whoa, whoa." She said, "I don't really do that because we do it's structured." I said, "Well, good. We're going to do that today."
Okay.
So she ran it once or twice, and I said, a little bit more. And she said, I said, it's keeping the integrity of the song, but it's livening it up. She did a great job on it. We're getting a nice response from people
Beautiful.
on that. It was just Sherelle's first hit.
Yeah.
So that was her first million seller.
So wait, what year was that?
Oh, God, wait a minute now.
About.
Probably 58, 59.
Okay, see? And the world knows it, you know? Stiletto and sax, man. Hey, hey.
And, you know, Doreen can sing a lot of different things, but it's not what they hire her and Joey with it, you know, with the stiletto and the sax man. So she does that. She does some great stuff, not with that all so high voice, but, you know, and they're incredible friends of ours, too.
Yep. Yep.
Working with them, they're wonderful people. You can't help but get along with them. And the background singers, you know, Joel Katz,
Yeah.
and Joel's on there. I was on it, and Sylvia Ecke, who's going to be doing some work with me, she actually was at the Trans-Siberian Orchestra for a number of years. So she's actually a piano teacher out of Berkeley, but she's right here, and she sings in English, Spanish, and French. So I'm going to work out a few things for her for later on. But that song I thought would be a great addition there. It's short, but everybody knows it,
Of course.
and it's being well received. So, you know, I thought it sounded really good. So
Beautiful.
I was pleased with it.
Beautiful. So you brought up Joel Katz. So I'm a nut job when it comes to being a fan of people. I'm a crazy nut job. You can't stop me, okay? I went behind the scenes when the Capris were playing to get Chubby Checker out of his dressing room because I met him when I was in my 20s. He put me on stage with him in my town. He did a benefit, and we twisted together. So I went backstage, went right around the building, went backstage, broke the door down and said, listen, get him out of his dressing room. He won't remember me, but I remember him, and he came out. So I'm crazy. So Joel Katz was at Let East, and I'm with them practicing, and they're up there, and they're having some tech issues. So my producer is with me, and he's young. I said, run. We're in the front row cracking up. I go, run, give him my card, throw it at him, tell him he better call me. Well, they had tech issues. He had to come off the thing, and he's sitting there with me, and I'm like, you better call me. And he did. And we had a great interview. But, you know, your album, let me tell you something about your album. First of all, the purple. I mean, my glasses are purple. Purple's my favorite color. So that right there, Norm, did it for me. I was like, this is the coolest freaking album ever. That right there did it for me. And your CD, I love what you did on the CD. Explain. I mean, it's just amazing. Giving these people the opportunity is also awesome, what you did. So I just want to, you know, give you another clap for that because that was beautiful what you did with that album and CD. I'm just telling you.
Well, it was honoring Larry Chance, too. You know that.
Yes,
So.
of course. You know, our Larry Chance, come on. You know? Okay. So now, we're going to play our final song, guys. And yes, you're welcome, everybody out there, for this incredible concert they offered you. Free concert here. All right. So, all right, producer, let's play Someone to Lay Down Beside Me. Here we go.
Somebody waiting alone in the street for someone to walk up and greet. Hey,
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Pam, talk about that song.
It's always been one of my favorite songs. Both Linda Ronstadt and Carla Bonoff made it a pretty big hit back in their day. And when Norman offered it as a suggestion, I jumped at it because it's one of those songs. I was just saying to him, there are certain songs that I sing and have sung for many years and played that I feel like I wrote them, even though I didn't. They are part of me and they hit me in my soul every time I perform them. There's just, I have an attachment, like a serious emotional attachment to certain songs. This has always been one of the biggest ones that gets me. I can cry singing it. Like I get very emotional. I get teary just listening to it again. It's just so powerful and yet so simple. And the angst in the writing is what gets me. I'm a being a lyricist also. But the music is what Norman did with the track is so exquisite because it's so powerful. But there's
lets you sing.
It let me sing. It didn't overtake what I wanted to do with it vocally, which was to just soar. I actually was recording it that night after having very, very bad news, and I was standing in the studio crying that I couldn't sing. Like I was having a breakdown. It was a terrible night in the studio for me. And Norman and Ryan just kept pushing. Like, you can do it. It's so good. Just keep going. Like put the angst into the song. And I did. I did.
Amazing. See, that's what music does for everybody, right?
I think it really does. It's so powerful. I mean, I think anybody listening to it, whether you're musical or not, you can relate to certain songs that they say something to you on some level. Doesn't have to be musically, but on some level. That's always my mission as a musician, to get into somebody, to make a breakthrough into somebody's heart, with whatever I'm presenting on any given night. And my writing does that too. And I've written a lot of I didn't send them to you because they didn't really pertain to what we were doing with this interview, but I've written things like my mom died and I wrote a song about it. And it was a kind of a stream of consciousness, so to speak, about my childhood.
Personal.
Of all my memories of being with, matching slippers and lying on the rug, coloring during a snowstorm. That's what I put into my writing. So when I can find somebody else has written that way and I get to sing it, it's the same thing. It's the same thing for me.
I have to share this. So when my mom died, me and my cousin wrote a poem and we said it at her funeral, and it's in my book. And when my dad died, I wrote a poem, and it's in my book. I'm just going to share the very ending of my poem, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. So what we did was we gave the funeral home Elvis gospel songs, and we made them play two of the songs, When I Get to Heaven, howdy, 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 I'm going to meet my mama, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But my father went out to How Great Thou Art. So
That's great.
So they knew when I read this last piece of the poem, I went like this, and my father went out and they played How Great Thou Art by Elvis. But this is the ending of it. But when I get to heaven, the party will start. Elvis Presley will be singing How Great Thou Art. So I love Pam. Like, listen, we're on the same page with all this creativity writing, and I just love it. And never stop. Never stop, both of you. So I'm going to give the mic to you guys. We have a couple minutes left. I don't want you to forget if there was anything important you wanted to say. Guys, now's the time.
Well, I want to see everybody at the R Bar with Ryan and I. That's going to be real special. That's Sunday, April 28th from 1 to 4. It's a brunch. Reservations would be strongly suggested. Just call the R Bar, Asbury Park. You won't regret it. It's a great place. I think even my partner here will be there that day
Well,
too.
it's his birthday weekend, so I'm going to be there for
All right,
sure.
yes.
I know there'll be cake at some point.
What?
He hates that stuff. But.
Pam, anything you'd like to close with?
Just come out and support live music. Like from somebody that plays out, a lot. The most joy I find is when people come and they enjoy it and they support us.
Right.
Because without their support, we don't have a job.
Right.
It is what it is in this environment. And from someone who loves what they do so much, and Norman, I can speak for him too. When you have the passion to do what we do for so many years, move with not a lot of money returned. It's not about the job of it. It's about the art of it and
And the
portraying.
passion that you have
And the
for it.
passion, yeah.
That's right.
April 26th, I'll have been playing for 74 years.
It's amazing. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay.
And it's scary is what it is.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. You hear me? Okay.
If
Say
you
yes.
say so.
Say yes, Jared. It's amazing. Say it.
Yes, Jerry.
It's amazing. God bless you, really. So I want to thank everyone listening. I want to thank my two incredible guests, off the charts. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Norman and Pam. I want to thank everybody listening. Please share this show. And guys, take away all the good from this. Everything that you heard they were talking about, all their passion, everything, right? The music that they've created. It's amazing and beautiful. Take away some good stuff from here today, okay? Keep me posted. Let me know what you think. I want to thank everybody, okay, from the bottom of my heart. Producer, take us out, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
Is it really true? Is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.